Welcome back, everybody. I decided to keep playing the game, try and do a little bit of a playthrough. I might not make it all the way through, but we'll see how far I get. And you just joined me a few moments before I actually quit the last video. That's thanks to whatever save is made by the game. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down to this satellite here and...
Liv, I'm clear of the radiation.
You alright?
Still functional. Though I must say my shell isn't exactly in the best condition.
In that case, I recommend using your ARM computer to reboot. It's the quickest way back to the station, and you can start fresh in a new shell.
Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan that little satellite there. Like I said, there's a few of these around, and I know of a few of them, not all of them. So I'll try and get them as many as I can, and then I'll try and get as many as I can.
Athena, bring up the next candidate, please.
Echo Program Candidate number 37. Lieutenant Rhodes, Olivia J.
Now this one's promising. Accepted into the USN Aerospace Academy at 16. Exemplary marks in engineering, geology, robotics. Elite stuff. All the versatility you could want in an astronaut. The USN even approached her for the Pythias initiative, but she declined. I'm not interested in leaving the solar system, I guess. And her psych profile. She's right on the money. Took some prying, but the interviewer got her to open up about her family. The younger brother, Jackson. You could tell they were close. Probably had to look after him a lot with two scientists for parents. That's just what we need for Echo 1. She's perfect.
There we go. And so I am Echo 1. That's why she calls me Jack. Okay.
Reboot initiated.
I think those disturbances might actually be electromagnetic pulses. You might not be able to scan the anomaly up close, but I think we can reconfigure a geological sensor to do the trick.
How so?
Well, if we can use it to read fluctuations in the magnetic field, we should be able to get a look inside. There's just several problems.
Go on.
I've got failures all over the facility. For this plan to work, we'll first need to clear up some problems in the container field, the primary dig site, and the processing line.
Send the details to my ARM computer.
Done. Let me know when you arrive at the sites.
Okay. So, what I'm doing right now is you might be like, oh, where are you going? Where I'm going is actually to collect one of these probes. So where am I? I'm on the wrong side, I think. Yeah, no, I'm on the right side. Alright, so I need to be on the other side of this pillar. So this is where the oxygen garden was, on the inside. And there should be a probe, ComSat, sorry. Here we go. Oh. Oh. Trying to rush. Okay, so that one doesn't have any audio log. Oh dear. Right, let's go back. So, the processing line is just down there, so I'm going to go do that one first. Takes no travel. I'm going to keep my eyes open for more of those little satellites. I know where there's a couple of them. I'm not going to go and get them right now, though.
Inbound on the processing line.
So, we're going to need a lot of energy for this sensor sweep, but the pulse knocked out the flow control on the plasma lathes. They're burning out of control and draining the power reserves.
One of us will need to enter the processing line and reach the emergency reset.
Well, I'd do it, if you'd let me.
I find your disregard for your own safety confounding.
That's why we make such a good team. You're my voice of reason. My Jiminy Cricket.
In that case, we're doomed.
The pulse has the electronics in that area on the fritz. If you reset the power transformer, I may be able to run a diagnostic.
These transformers are an outdated model. We should upgrade them at our earliest convenience.
No wonder they get misaligned so easily.
pretty much always use circuit 4. It's the easiest one. Done.
Grid stabilized.
The control hub in that area is back online. I've re-established contact with the Labour unit manning the line entrance below. He should open the door for you.
So, hitch a ride on this guy. Whee!
Echo unit identified. Opening service entrance.
I should be able to reach the manual reset on the other end of the line.
You mean past the inferno of white-hot plasma?
Correct. Which is precisely why I'm the one doing it.
Jack? Jack, are you there?
Another EMP. Status report?
All clear here. But the line's throttle controls just went haywire. Be careful in there.
Right, and so now we have to go right through the middle of that and avoid getting sliced by these red plasma cutters. I might have to do this several times. Whoa, okay, that was close.
That's a lot of flotsam. Better make sure nothing's jammed the conveyor systems. Could cause problems when we reboot.
I'll inspect the ice pallets. Melted clean through.
Maintenance units shouldn't be entering the line while the cutting systems are active. Something's very wrong here.
Looks like a piece is wedged under the conveyor unit.
Well, try and dig it out so it doesn't jam the reset protocols.
Wait for this guy to go back up. Oh, come on. You're going to tease me out here. Okay, here we go. Underneath.
More debris.
Oh, dear.
Make sure you clear any jammed conveyors before moving on.
Whoop. Oh, God, that was close. So there's a leg down here, I think.
Something must have interfered with the nav protocols.
Yeah, looks like. Labour units shouldn't just run face first into a hostile environment.
Okay, so this is going around in a circular pattern. What I should do is just gun it. It's just no strategy in that one. I'm just going to gun that one.
Any
Okay.
sign of a working hard drive in all this wreckage?
Not yet. Most command functions are processed in a unit's head.
Well, if you see one,
dear.
give it a scan. I could use the data.
Pallet clear.
Stubborn bastard.
Oh, oh my God. Sorry, I nearly died. Oh dear. Ah. So I nearly died. I did not expect that one. Okay, but I've actually got through most of difficult parts, and I don't think I can. Oh. Yeah.
Reboot initiated.
That looked painful. Are you sure about this?
I'm certain. It's the only way to shut down the plasma lathes.
Spoke too soon, essentially. I think is the golden rule there. I don't have to actually clear up any of the mess. Oh, okay. Right, not quite back where I left off, but kind of nearly.
Shields at 30%.
Damn it. Okay, I did not really want to do that. Alright, so I'm kind there was really stupid. Oh dear. Oh no.
Approaching watch station.
Switch there should trigger an emergency reboot.
Reboot initiated.
Jesus, Jack. It's a good thing that pod is fully stocked.
Ooh. Right, so there's a way to do this, and there's a way not to do this. And what you just saw is how not to. Alright, so I'm going to just try and gun this a little bit and see how far I make it, just out of sheer luck. Oh dear. Oh, nice. That one. Flip to the side. This one. Go straight. Oh, under. Over. Gun it. I'm going to stop myself on this guy's
Positive contact.
bum.
Stabilizing.
Straight under this. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, that was actually a lot easier.
Unit 14, what is your function?
Nav data mismatch. Multiple hazards detected. Maintenance cycle incomplete.
Right. So, what I'm going to try and do now is get through this without getting killed. Oh dear. Okay, that's... I don't know where the one above me is. Ow. Oh, God. Oh. Quick, get through. Ah, I'm through. Right. Oh. Right, so this head is what I'm actually wanting.
I've located some intact command modules. My scanner should be able to pull the drive data.
Good find. With any luck, the data clusters are still intact.
Direct connection established. Synchronizing data stream.
Nav data purged. Kronos uplink lost. Executing last known command. Collision detected. Damage report. Unavailable. Lower limbs non-ambulatory. Upper limbs non-ambulatory. Excessive command feedback. Critical failure. All systems. Shutting down.
Well, that was certainly horrifying.
Reset in progress.
Power output back within normal parameters. We should have plenty of energy for the scan. Nice moves in there. Just watching that was giving me a cardiac. Okay, good start. We still need to find out what happened at the primary dig site and the container field. Let me know when you find out more.
All right. So, I think we should go to...
There's a ton of junk data in these logs. But it doesn't look random. It's almost like it was trying to process multiple dig sites at once.
That should have triggered an emergency shutdown. We should be careful.
Next closest thing is a container field, which is there. I'm gonna go get into my Fury transport. Ah.
Select your destination.
I am actually going to go to the ComSat. And the reason
Destination, Communications Satellite D4. Preparing for thruster ignition. Please hold on.
The reason why I'm going to the satellite is because we interact with it later in the game. However, when I did interact with it later in the game, I had not got a clue what I was supposed to be doing there. So I'm going to go up here and see if this triggers any kind of storyline. Any kind of event. All I think I'll find
I'm not
out...
reading a signal from ComSat D4.
Hera, run a diagnostic on satellite D4.
Scanning. Satellite offline. Solar panels are operational, but their current wattage is at 5% of their effective PTC rating.
Interference from the anomaly, I suspect. It should have a backup battery for these situations, though.
I'll open the maintenance hatch and take a look. The satellite's maintenance hatch. I should open it up and check its backup power supply. Hatch open, checking the battery.
Hmm. How do I get this to release? So this should... I should be able to just grab this. Interesting. Okay, so... Oh wait, is there anything I need to scan? What? Hmm.
This battery's drained. I'll need to recharge or replace it on the Fury transport.
Okay, that's weird. Again, sometimes you have to try things a couple of times. There's no obvious reason why that wasn't working, at least in my own mind. All I did was jam it harder. So I'm gonna take that, put that one back in there to charge. Come here, you.
Battery in place. Hera, status update.
Satellite D4 is still offline.
Strange.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
That would probably work, actually.
Usually does. You should be able to cycle the power at the emergency control panel, near the top of the array.
Okay, so this makes sense now, actually. So what happened to me before when I played this was I needed to do something with this satellite, and I just had no idea where anything was. So maintenance panel. So actually, it's one of those cases where you don't have to come here, but doing so helps you out in terms of knowing what to do later.
The emergency control panel. I'll need to cut through before I can access it.
The question I have, though, is will this remain cut? Whee!
Satellite D4 online. Systems nominal.
Nice job. I'm getting a strong signal. It may actually help us get a better reading on the anomaly. Did you know that beforehand, Jack?
Not really, I just wanted to fix it.
Just can't help yourself, can you?
There is nothing wrong with wanting a clean and functional work environment.
Must fix. Okay, let's go and do what I said I was going to do first, which is...
Select your destination.
the container field.
Destination, container field. Preparing for thruster ignition. Please hold on.
Approaching container field.
I'm picking up latent radiological activity in that area.
Something must have contaminated the cargo.
There's no way we'll get a clear read on the anomaly with all that interference. You'll need to find the source of the radiation and jettison it.
My scanner should help me track down the culprit.
All right,
Best guess, I'd say you're looking for levels around 80 or 90 decigrays. If you get into trouble, remember you can use the Fury module's induction panel to recharge your shields.
So again, I already know where roughly this one is, and I think it's that one up there.
Radiation absorption at 30 decigrays and climbing. Agitated deuterium ions detected.
Deuterium? That's a hydrogen isotope.
Yeah.
How'd that end up in one of our helium-3 containers?
Unclear. The processing line is configured to scrub any excess hydrogen.
Ah, sod it. For now, let's just deal with the contamination. I'll dispatch a Fury to remove the irradiated container. Wait, something's wrong.
What is it?
I can't get the Fury transport to decouple from the container on the upper rack.
I can throw the manual override on the Fury's hitch. Stand by. I'll make my way up there now.
Okay, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself there. You basically have to cut it loose. So let me get over to the Fury before my batteries run dry, or my shields run dry by 50%. Okay.
Approaching Fury transport.
Careful. Once you decouple the transport's hitch, the autopilot's likely to kick in. So either get clear or find something to hold on to.
Fury hitch released.
Autopilot's taking over. So far, so good.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let go.
Shields at 95%.
Ah! Jack? Are you alright?
Affirmative. But the container was breached. The contamination is spreading.
Well, that certainly didn't go as planned. Okay, I've got an idea. If I release the container's maglocks, the Fury should just carry it away. Or it would if the controls were actually responding. You know what? Screw it. Just cut the power. Maybe that'll do it.
Considering the damage, are you sure that's wise?
Wise? Definitely not. But will it work? Only one way to find out.
Do I need to mention this is a gross violation of protocol?
It's either this or risk contaminating the entire shipment. Sometimes you just have to improvise. Ah! Holy What the hell just happened?
Explosive decompression. The escaping gas caused the container to jettison itself.
Okay, so not exactly what we were aiming for, but, well, I suppose that takes care of our radiation problem. Good work. The sensor should be able to scan the anomaly free of interference. We're almost there. We still need to investigate the primary dig site. Update me when you arrive. Hold on. Something's wrong with that Fury transport.
The one that collided with the container. What's wrong with it?
I'm really not sure. It's moving erratically, veering wildly off its flight path.
Could be a problem with the Fury's flight dynamics.
Probably just need to reset the navcom. If you get a chance, would you mind looking into it?
Copy that.
And I'm not sure, but I think we might need to resynchronize the container field's inventory control system.
Are these issues urgent?
Well, not really. Neither one's going to keep us from scanning the anomaly. Consider them both secondary priorities. Echo 1. He's like a second crew member. I'm not just talking about all the work he gets done either. It's the questions, I think. He's always asking them. Why do I do this? What does that phrase mean? On and on. And the way he'll stare at things sometimes, like he's trying to deconstruct them. It reminds me of... well... I called him Jack the other day. Completely by accident. It just slipped out. Had to take a moment after that. It has to mean something, though, doesn't
Okay, so what I just did there was a bit by accident. I activated the CubeSat, not expecting it to have an audio log. What that basically means is that essentially it's an audio log of Olivia when she was on board first starting out, before you'd really got to know each other, I guess, and before you'd had your programming completed and you'd learned, and etc. etc. All right, let's get this fury under control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for it to come over here, which it should be doing soon, I think. Yeah. Okay, so the Fury will basically... Okay, the lighting is a bit strange on that. The Fury will basically go to a location and then it will stand still for a few moments. So I'm just going to grab it and I'm going to keep hold of it as it flies, and I'm going to try and reset it.
Nice. Good work, Jack.
What is it?
Nothing. I'm sorry, it was like watching some sort of weird robot rodeo. Cowboy Jack ropes himself a Fury.
Do I get a hat?
A hat, fancy boots, shiny spurs. We'll fix you right up. Till then, you can just leave the Fury where it is. I'll have Hera run some diagnostics on it before I can reconnect the remote link.
Copy that. I'm moving on.
Happy trails, partner.
What gets me a little bit is I know that you guys are supposed to be professionals and, I'm a robot. But this is like an anomaly out there and nobody is freaking out. Maybe that's why they chose Olivia. She's a pro through and through. And I just saw another CubeSat, so I'm going to go get that, and then I'm going to go and do the optional maintenance. Okay, so 2, 3. Okay, good. Okay, so I think I've got to sync this in sequence. So
Liv, you were right. The inventory control system is out of sync.
Probably got knocked off cycle by one of those pulses. In order to resynchronize the inventory system, you'll have to quickly scan each of the 3 I/O ports in the container field.
Hera, mark the location of each I/O port on my HUD.
Once you scan the first I/O port, you'll have roughly 70 seconds to scan the other 2. If you don't make it, the system will reset and you'll have to start again.
So this is fairly easy.
That's 1.
Clock is running. 70 seconds.
This is fairly easy. The only way you might find it difficult is if you're just not comfortable with moving around in a 0G. Like I say, I finished the game, so this might come across as a little bit mental. Moving around in the way I am, but this is essentially
1 more to go.
How you
50 seconds remaining.
How you become. Oops! I just.
Success.
Done.
Inventory control station synchronized.
That was impressive.
It wasn't all that difficult. After all, I was specifically designed to handle these types of demanding situations.
Plus, you're incredibly modest.
Thank you.
Sure. To be honest, that was not modest at all. Right, let's go and get our Fury transport. Can I scan that? No. I think I will leave you all there. Thanks a lot.